Yes, good afternoon. Here from Uganda, where I'm recording this video. It's noon. Yeah, I'm so grateful that today you have decided to visit my channel. And before I go further, I'd like you to give me the subscription button. Tap the notification button so that whenever I upload the video, you are notified because I'll be giving a rigid and good approaches on how we approach the forex market. So I know I already uploaded this video about the AR50 bounce, but it was in my local language. So today I would like to convert it to the language that very many people around the world can understand. When we talk about the AR50, when you listen to the word AR means the Asian range. AR stands for Asian range, and 50 stands for the 50 moving average, and 50 middle of the Asian box. Because when we are marking the Asian box, here up it's named the 00, down it's also 00, and here in the middle we call it 50. So for those who took the courses of BTMM, when I talk like that, I know you understand what I'm talking about. But when you are drawing the Asian box, the first thing we are supposed to look at is the time range. I know very many people you'll be dealing with different blockers. For me, I'm dealing with the Xness, and if you want to get to my blocker, the link is in a description. So the first thing is time, and you are supposed to mark the high and the low between 21 and remember we do this on the 15-minute time frame, and this strategy works on the minute 15 time frame. So we mark the candle of 21, then we look for the candle of 5. So our main aim, after identifying time from 21 to 5, this is Xness time. So for you to understand how you are supposed to do the box on the chart, you are supposed to go to the last printing candle and you get to know what time is it printing. So here you can see it is 8:45, and in Ugandan time it is 11:57. So that means these guys, they are 3 hours back. Sorry, that means we are 3 hours in front of the Xness time. That's why we add on those 3 hours, or we subtract the 3 hours to get to know. That's why I mark 21, because we are supposed to mark from 00 to 8 of your time zone, of your country time zone. And here on Xness, you can see that their time, we are 3 hours in front of Xness time. So we get to mark the 21 candle and we look for the 5. 21 plus 3, that's 24. That means that's 00 and the midnight. Then 5, it's 8 plus 3. That means that's 8 a.m. here in Uganda in the morning. The major issue as why we mark that way, it's because the Asian range, the Asian consolidation takes place within that particular time. And our major aim is to get to know the high and the low that was formed between those time intervals. That's why when you look at my box, you can see that I drew my box at the high and at the low within that time interval. Yes, so that means here is the low and here is the high that was formed during the Asian session. After you mark your box with those dots, you just press the box, then you mark the line in the middle of the Asian box. Then after doing all that, what you're supposed to get to know are what confluences are we supposed to follow? What confluences are we supposed to follow when we are dealing with this particular strategy? First of all, you are supposed to do the box, and that box should mark the high and the low that was formed in between the Asian session, that was found in between 21 to 5 of external time, or midnight 00 to 8 of your country time, wherever you are getting this video from. So after drawing the box, first the confluence, you are supposed to wait for the price to move out of the Asian box. Like here, the price, we see that it has moved out of the Asian box. What do we consider that this price that has moved out of the Asian box? First of all, you should mark the candle, the body of the candle. When I talk about the body, I mean this shaded part, not moving out of the box with the wick, but it's supposed to move out of the box with the body. That means this candle here did not break the Asian box, but this candle, next candle, is the one that broke the Asian box. Yes, so in case the price ended from here and turned down, that means we should be waiting for the price then to break down. But if it stopped from this candle here and then turned to the middle of the Asian box, then there we take a trade. I'm going to explain that. First of all, we're supposed to get price breaking out of the Asian box. Then we wait for this price to come back in the middle of the Asian box. The first confluence is the price to move out of the Asian box. Second confluence is the price to turn back in the middle of the Asian box. When price breaks to the downwards, then we shall wait for the price to turn back to the middle of the Asian box like that. Because when price moves for the upward like that, that means on that day we are expecting a buy on that currency. So when it moves to the downside like here, that means we are aiming for a sell. So this is the easiest strategy ever, and I think very many members are going to adopt that, and I promise you it's 8% perfect, 100% profitable. Very soon I'm going to be delivering a video about on how to take the profits and how to apply the stop loss on this particular strategy. AR50 first conference, when it moves out of the Asian box, we are waiting for the price to return to the middle of the Asian box with momentum candles. We are supposed to wait for the price to turn to the middle of the Asian box with momentum candles. Only ready candles returning to the middle of the Asian box, that makes it a valid setup. Very many people are so confused, and very many people will say, how do I enter a sell when the price is returning to the middle Asian box with momentum candles? We don't enter using momentum. But remember, when the price goes up and breaks the Asian box, very many people here are in a buy, and very many people here, you can, as you see, they are in a buy of Bitcoin. The reason as why they bring these momentum candles to the middle of the Asian box is to scare away all those that entered the buy during the Asian session. That's why you see that price coming back to the middle of the Asian box is coming back with the high momentum, so that it scares away all those that entered buy. So for you, you should be different from those. You should be different from those. You will enter the market without hesitation, because we are 100% that this is what they do. And they do this very thing frequently. They do this very thing frequently. The forex market every time is the same shit. Every day it's the same shit. They repeat the same things. The movements are the same. What's different is the volatility. So we wait for the candles to return to the middle of the Asian box with the momentum candles on red. But here, it's not that all the time it's supposed to come to the middle of the Asian box with the ready candles, or when we are looking for a sell, when it moves downwards like this, that it is supposed to come back with only momentum green candles. Sometimes it may print some other candles while reaching the middle of the Asian box, but when it turns the middle of the Asian box with the same candles, that gives it a higher percentage to pay out. These other setups that comes with the change of the candles, they also pay, but they stand a low percentage. But when you see this strategy happening and the momentum candles stand to the middle are all the same, it gives it higher percentage of the setup to win. That's a second conference. Price return to the middle of Asian box with momentum candles. And remember, on returning to the middle of the Asian box, we must not get a consolidation. When price consolidates on this area before returning to the middle of the Asian box, that is an invalid setup. Very many will do that and they pay, but just know that you entered an invalid setup. When price returns to the middle of Asian box, the momentum candles, that's our second confluence. On reaching to the middle of the Asian box like this, when it's reaching the middle of the Asian box like that, after reaching this middle of the Asian box, we are supposed to get the candle change. But on returning the middle of the Asian box, when it reaches the middle of Asian box, we turn to the minute 5. We return to minute 5. This is where we take our entries. We take entry on the minute 5 because this is an intraday setup. This box we draw them every day. Every day you draw a new Asian box. So that means this is an intraday setup. This is an intraday strategy. On reaching the middle of the Asian box like this, we are supposed to get the minute 5 candle change here. Such, during that, the candles return to the middle of the Asian box. They are all red. That means on reaching to the middle of the Asian box, you are going to see a candle change of minute 5, which is green. Why? Why do we wait for the candle change? Sometimes you may say you fear to enter on momentum candle. So when we receive the candle change, that means it has confirmed a reversal to return where it was coming from. But when we don't receive a minute 5 candle change, that means there is a higher possibility of those candle to continue going down. So listen very well here. Listen very well. When price reaches to the middle of the Asian box with the momentum candles without consolidation here up, and it passes by the middle of the Asian box, you should mark the utmost fair value gap within the Asian box. When we talk about the utmost fair value gap, let me return to GBP/USD. When we talk about the utmost fair value gap, you see this zone that I've marked down. So in case GU sells to return to the middle of the Asian box, you mark the utmost fair value gap within the Asian box. We can see this fair value gap here is the utmost fair value gap within the Asian box because there are no any other fair value gap within the Asian box. So when price passes by on reaching the middle of the Asian box and doesn't give us the candle change on returning to the middle of the Asian box like this, when it reaches there and it doesn't give the minute 5 candle change, we wait for that utmost fair value gap within the Asian box. On reaching on that utmost fair value gap, there we don't wait for the candle change. We enter immediately because it has already passed where we were expecting it to end. So on passing in the middle of the Asian box, that means it is targeting that utmost fair value gap that was formed within the Asian session. That's where it is targeting to make a return. If you have listened to this video from its beginning, I'll thank you for listening, and I promise you that this is the strategy that is gonna work for you for the entire life. If you have been struggling with forex, you have been reading all books, you have been this and this is the simplest strategy and a highly paying strategy. You don't need much to become profitable in the market. So on price reaching here in the middle of the Asian box, when doesn't give the candle change of the minute 5 in the middle of the Asian box, that means there we consider the utmost fair value gap within the Asian box. That's why for me very many times I take trades on the utmost fair value gap, because sometimes they can even reach in the middle and give the candle change, and again they target the utmost fair value gap. That's why on my trades, when you go to my TikTok and search the FX056, you see that all the setups I take them at the zero float, because the price will end exactly here and it will reverse. I'm so grateful if you have worked with me all along. If you have listened to this video, practice makes perfect. Good enough. The demo is there for you to practice. Practice. Before joining Rio and giving off your money to the market, try to first practice. Do exercise. Get to know yourself. You have the strategy, but what is hindering you from making money from this strategy? The only thing about this strategy is patience. When you get patience and you wait for the exact place where to take the trade, you wait for the price to return to the middle, you wait for the price to break the box, you wait for the price to return to the middle, you wait for the candle change, I promise you, you're gonna be texting only thanks, thanks, thanks. I don't need much from you, but all I want is to see the all global becoming profitable. I wish you well, and let me pray that you take that setup into consideration, you give it time, you practice it, and I promise you, you are going to be profitable 100%. Very soon I'll be uploading a video about how we take the TP on this particular setup and how we take the stop loss on these particular setups. But for you to get to know that, that means you are supposed to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tap the like button, tap the notification so that whenever I upload a video, you are notified immediately. Thanks for listening. Yeah.